Hi, this is Katie Bomberger, and this is my Module 1 screencast for Science Curriculum and Reform. My professional background: I'm a 2011 graduate of Millersville with my degree in elementary education, and I have recently finished my 5th year of teaching 4th grade at Lickdale Elementary School. Before that, I taught 1 year of 2nd grade. I am currently pursuing my master's degree with the STEM endorsement to better serve the needs of my students. Outside of school, I have a lot of different hobbies and interests. I have been married to my husband Nick for 11 years, and we have 3 children: Sophia, Jacob, and Henry. Sophia is 11. Jacob is almost 7, and Henry is only 7 months old. Outside of school, I enjoy baking, cake decorating, working in my garden, and spending time with my family and our dog Teddy. My favorite type of candy bar is a Milka Oreo bar, and O. Henry bars are a close second, but they are really hard to find. Starting with the concepts from this module, I will answer the question of how do students learn science. So I broke it down into some basic ideas. First off, they learn science by having their preconceptions addressed, because some of the things that we learn outside of school carry over into the classroom every day. And Donovan and Bransford said that the understandings they carry with them into the classroom significantly shape how they make sense of what they are taught. I also believe that they learn science by starting with their factual knowledge as a foundation, and then you can build upon that by giving them experiences, hands-on experiences, giving them the opportunity to test ideas, to ask questions, to have discussions, to self-reflect on maybe what they previously thought and now what they found out. So anyway, that factual knowledge helps them bridge over to the conceptual knowledge and understanding ideas in a larger setting. And also, I think that students learn science by using these metacognitive practices, by taking control of their own learning. And Donovan and Bransford again say they can define their learning goals and monitor their progress. But again, this is something that also needs to be heavily modeled by the teacher from day 1 of the class, so that students are not insecure about doing this, especially if you want them to do some think alouds with one another. And I also think it's really important for students to do any type of learning to feel that they're being part of a community that encourages expressing their ideas and taking risks, and knowing that it's okay if you didn't get the quote-unquote right answer, because it's part of the learning process. What are the barriers to learning science? I think one of the barriers that we face are the preconceptions, and I chose this from the text because I think it explains why. They had one example there in the book. If students' preconceptions are not addressed, they memorize the content yet still use their experience-based preconceptions to act in the world. And I think that was some high school students were using their preconceptions, and even though they knew the facts, they still acted, I guess, incorrectly throughout the experiment. They went back to their preconceived ideas. And I also think students do not have a clear idea of what it means to go through the scientific process, what it means to really ask questions and test them out and make a hypothesis, and also use their imagination through it. I think that's a difficult thing to straight outwardly teach. It's just something that they need to experience over and over again. I also think some of the barriers are the methods of teaching where I know that I have done it. I still teach the scientific method where we give them recipes for experiments. Do this step 1, step 2, step 3. That kind of limits some of their thinking and inquisitiveness. And the text there says that it shortchanges some of their observations, their imagination, and their reasoning, logical reasoning for why things may or may not have happened the way they planned or the way that they expected. And students also, you may not be given enough time or enough opportunities to learn about how to be metacognitive, and I think that's a huge barrier in learning. How my classroom adheres to the principles of learning science that we had read about in the module. So I do think that I engage prior understanding. I think I have a better grasp on what some of their misconceptions might be since I've been in the same grade level for a few years, and I gain understanding to this every year that I teach. However, it's also important for me to take into consideration where the student has lived previously, like as far as location, but who they live with, the family situation, and to just have those open discussions with students before new materials presented, give some pre-assessments, just to get an idea of where the students are at, so I have a better foundation to help them achieve the goals that I have for them. As far as the factual knowledge, I do provide the students with the baseline knowledge through readings. It could be through videos, through slideshows, pictures, diagrams, models. But in order for the students to gain those and understand the concepts, it's more of participating in field experiences that I'm able to sign up through our school district. We go out frequently in the nearby parks and do some stream studies that relate to our study of water health and tributaries, and also doing other investigations, whether it be for electricity or for sources of energy, and it all relates back to the factual knowledge. The importance of self-monitoring. I also allow students to test their ideas, but I teach them how to self-monitor early on in the school year. Finally, my STEM perspective. I chose that STEM is a transdisciplinary approach because we're trying to put all of those disciplines together and use them simultaneously to help us answer questions and solve problems. And by no means am I an expert at this. I have found it very difficult to integrate all 4 of the disciplines at one time. I am working on getting better at that, but I have seen it done and seen it done successfully, and I have taken part in many of those lessons. So I think that it is challenging, but it is possible, and I am still working to improve on teaching STEM as a transdisciplinary approach. That is my slideshow for Module 1. Thank you for watching.